You can't block this guy with a tight end. Heck, you can't even block him with two. You could bring an extra lineman in. You could bring the running back over to help. It doesn't matter. You can't even run away from Maxx Crosby. He isn't just a freak athlete. He's a football genius, and he's smarter than you. Let's film study. Okay, here we go. It's week 6. This is Pittsburgh versus Las Vegas, and here's Maxx Crosby right here in his normal defensive end position. Now, this is Darnell Washington from the Steelers. Now, Darnell Washington, as many of you might know, is the biggest tight end probably in the history of the NFL. He's 6'8". He's about 300 pounds. So this is no ordinary pass catching tight end. This is a monster of a man. And I guess they think that they're going to need that for Maxx Crosby. It turns out to not be enough. Let's take a look at this first play. So he's in a wide 9 technique here. It seems like he knows something's about to go on. He flashes his hand. I don't know if that's to get Darnell Washington to jump or what, but watch how he does this. So he's supposed to play outside leverage on Washington, right? Which he does. He does a nice job. He starts out with outside leverage. He's got good leverage there. Now, he works his way back to the inside on this pull here and ends up making the play inside of him. Really, he's taking 2 gaps here. Kind of destroys Washington. And Washington does a good job knocking his hands down initially. You can see here, knocks his hands down, okay? But Crosby's so long and strong, he gets in there, makes the tackle anyway. Okay, here we have a similar look. You can see Crosby here lined up on Washington again, okay? He's looking over there at the wing. I think he knows that something's coming. And when that wing comes over, he knows what's up. So he works to the inside of Washington here. Now, you can tell he knows what's going on. See this stance? He knows this. Everything's about to move to his right. When the ball is snapped, he's moving before anybody else is. Stays on the inside, good leverage. Says, get off me, makes the tackle in the backfield. You can't block this guy with a tight end. It's impossible. Okay, so we saw already that 1 tight end isn't good enough. Let's see what happens if we bring 2 tight ends to block him. You can see him out here, lined up really wide 9. Nope, he'll just split both tight ends, make the play in the backfield. I mean, how frustrating this must be for these tight ends. Okay, the Steelers have had enough. Now they've decided, forget the tight ends. We're going to bring in an extra offensive lineman. So over here you can see there's an extra offensive lineman in the game, 63, playing tight end. Maybe he can block Maxx Crosby. Nope, tackle for loss again. This guy's an animal. This is all in one game, by the way. Okay, the Steelers have had enough. They decided we're going to have to block him the traditional way. We're going to use our right tackle. Maybe this will work. Let's take a look. Crosby gets up the field, makes an inside move hard. 77 has to let go of him because he's holding him, and Crosby makes the tackle in the backfield for a sack on Justin Fields here. I mean, the Steelers just don't have an answer for this guy. Okay, so on this play, Crosby, you can see him standing up. He very rarely gets in his stance until the ball is just about to be snapped, and it's like he knows when it's going to be snapped. What he's doing right here is he's looking over here at this wing, number 88. He knows he's coming across, okay? And when 88 starts his motion over, Crosby now knows there's going to be a combo block here, right? 77 and 88 are going to try to seal him to the inside and get a crease between 80 and 77 here. They're going to run outside of Crosby. So Crosby says, that's fine. If you want to do that, I'll just go inside all of it and then work back outside and make the play anyway. You can't stop me. Boom. Now watch this move. You can see Crosby here lined up on the left. Okay, he's in what I would call a wide 5 or maybe even a 7 technique here, but clearly he's in pass rush mode. Take a look at this up and under. 77 has no choice but to hold him. There's the flag. That's a 10-yard penalty. You know, sometimes to affect the game, you don't just have to get sacks. You don't have to just make tackles. In this case, he affects the game by forcing a penalty and forcing the Steelers into a much worse situation. Now watch this. The Steelers bring over Washington to try to get Crosby as wide as possible so they can run it inside of him. Watch what he does. Up the field, bends the corner, gets held. Another penalty. Oof, and Najee Harris takes a beating. So now what do you do if you can't block a guy? Maybe you run away from him. Let's see if that works. Best way I know to run away from a guy like that is to toss the ball in the opposite direction. Fields under center. There goes motion. There's the toss. Crosby chases down the line. Boom. Doesn't make the tackle there, but definitely makes the play. All right, now I think the Steelers are just about out of options here, but maybe they can try one more thing. I think in this case, let's try running away from him and double teaming him. Let's see how that works. There he goes. Here comes the tackle. Here comes the running back. He splits them both, chases Fields all the way across the field, and almost gets another sack there. I mean, this guy really is unstoppable. This is all in one game. I mean, that's like almost 10 plays that he's totally disrupted the flow of the offense. He's totally changed the game pretty much single-handedly. This guy's a monster. Maxx Crosby is earning his keep. Till next time.